Cory Sandhagen versus Rob Font. You see what I did there? This Saturday, it went five rounds at the main event in Nashville, and we had the whole arena booing him. Reportedly, Dana White also on top of that left in the fourth round. Not a good look. At the same time, sports-wise, you have Sandhagen, jokingly, I said Sandhagen. He absolutely dominated. He showed that he's a true martial artist. Not only is he a deadly striker, but oh boy, he can grapple. He can wrestle. He can put down his opponent on the ground, hold him down, do all sorts of positions, show amazing jiu-jitsu on top of that. I mean, he was great. But was it a snooze fest? Was it boring? I understand the crowd. Yeah, it was boring as hell. It was boring for me too. But, now imagine the casual average fan who came there to see blood, to see violence, and all he sees is one guy holding down another guy for 5 rounds. And they pretty much came to watch. I mean, that was the main event, right? Sure, they had a good fights before that, but, you come to that point, you come to the finale, and yeah, you see a snooze fest. So it's not a good look for the business. And he didn't make a good case in that sense for the title fight, right? Or is he going to fight for the title? So the thing is, I'm conflicted myself. He showed a great performance MMA-wise. He showed that he's a really true martial artist. Rob Font didn't stand a chance. I understand it was short notice, but he was not expecting this, apparently. And he was not ready for that level of his ground game. So I did mention this. He improved his ground game. He showed he took down guys in the last few fights, even though he's a heavy striking guy. And granted, he didn't really have much of a choice either. He showed up to this fight with an injured elbow. It turns out that he tore his triceps. I can only imagine how much that hurts. And he will have to undergo surgery. If he already hasn't went to surgery, but it looked really bad. So I'm conflicted myself. Did he make a case to fight for the title versus Aljamain in the case if Aljamain wins versus Sterling? I'm sorry, Aljamain. In the case if Aljamain wins versus O'Malley? I don't know. I really don't know. At the same time, you have Henry Cejudo laughed it off and said, hey, it doesn't matter what you did. I am fighting Merabdashvili either for the title or for the title fight. It all depends if Aljamain goes up to the featherweight division after this fight with Sean O'Malley, which could easily be the case, especially if he wins. He might go. He already talked about it before. He might say, you know what, there's nothing else left for me in this division. I might go up. He also said after this fight he was not impressed by Cory's performance. So Cory, I don't know. I'm conflicted myself. I'm not sure. I understand the business aspect of this. Like, you had people that came to that arena looking forward to that fight. They left unhappy, right? If they asked them now, would you do this again? Would you watch Cory again? Their answer for the most part probably would be no. So you got the business side, you got the sports side. And interesting enough, recently, Cory did talk about Sean O'Malley. And he said it's not good for the sport, that he's talking about the money, he's talking about the views. So Sean O'Malley is a very similar fighter. However, it's a totally different personality and his whole relationship with the sport and the business. He's heavily on the business side. Sean O'Malley has a huge YouTube channel. He has a brand. He has merchandise. He's into making the money, making the interesting fights. And he's on a really good path at a very young age. While at the same time, you got Cory, who's a true martial artist. He doesn't care as much about the business aspect. He doesn't understand why. And he thinks that it's not good for the sport, that we're heavily commercializing the whole thing. But I think it's the nature of the business. It has to be, right? In order for it to grow in popularity, you need to realize the business aspect of the sport. Now, at the same time, like I said, he had a really bad injury. He didn't have a choice really in this fight. He was either to lose the fight standing up or go and do what he did, which was heavy grappling, focus on that, put Rob Font down and target his weaknesses. And so he did. He won the match. Strategically, he played it perfectly, right? So he secured the win. He took absolutely no damage as far as I know. So I don't know. I'm conflicted. Let me know what you guys think. Did he do the right thing? Did he do the wrong thing? Does he deserve a title fight after all of this or not? Please let me know in the comments section. And don't forget to like and subscribe.